On the sofa, or not on the sofa, at the table with us now is Simon Calder, travel expert. So, you see that? You see the sun? Everybody's probably looking out the window thinking, well, that looks a bit nice. But our Foreign Office says, don't travel there.
What they say very specifically in the context of Egypt as a whole and Sharm el-Sheikh in particular is that pretty much all the places that you would want to go as a holidaymaker are regarded as tolerably low risk. But specifically, Sharm el-Sheikh Airport is off limits. That goes back to October 2015 when there was a Metrojet flight from Sharm el-Sheikh to St. Petersburg. Very sadly, 224 people died when it crashed shortly after takeoff from Sharm el-Sheikh. It is thought that a bomb was placed on board at Sharm el-Sheikh Airport. 4 days after that tragedy, the British Foreign Office said, right, we do not think that the airport is safe. No more UK airlines can fly there except to go and fetch British holidaymakers. So the planes went in, they came back actually with their holds sealed. There were separate cargo flights for everybody's luggage and everybody came back. Since that time, you can certainly go to Cairo, you can go to Hurghada, you can go to Luxor on the Nile. You can fly into anywhere you like, basically, in Egypt, apart from Sharm el-Sheikh Airport.
So how do you get there?
Well, Joseph ignored the Foreign Office advice. He flew in, as many people do, via Istanbul. You can also go in via Cairo, or indeed...
Cairo's that's a 12-hour drive, isn't it?
Well, if you
car.
take a connecting flight if you want to break the Foreign Office law. Yeah, it's about a 12-hour drive and really dangerous because if you want to take a risk in Egypt, then just drive for a long distance.
How long's the ferry from Hurghada over?
Ferry is 2 hours, 20 minutes. There's about 3 a week. It's £25. Lovely journey.
But here we are. Look, I mean, the thing is that we're discussing this like it. Yes, well, that's absolutely fine. Mrs. Joseph went there. This is how you get there. This is how much it will cost. Is it safe to go, and will you get insurance?
Right. If you get travel insurance for Egypt, it will not cover you if you decide to fly into Sharm el-Sheikh Airport. Actually, for when you're in the airport, if you see what I mean, it will cover you for everything else. Obviously, the Foreign Office must have reasons for keeping this ban in place, 16 months now. They keep saying, we're looking at it, we're working with the Egyptian authorities, we want British people to go back to Sharm el-Sheikh, but no sign of it yet. Meanwhile, of course, holiday companies are still selling trips.
So how are they doing that then?
Well, because when the ban is finally lifted, you don't just flick a switch and suddenly a million British people go back to Sharm el-Sheikh. You have to kind of plan ahead. So, for example, Thomas Cook has a winter schedule of flights running from Gatwick. They're selling holidays I can buy right now. A lovely week, all-inclusive, 5-star resort for about £600. But round about August, if the ban is still in place, they'll phone me up and say, really sorry, we've cancelled that trip and
you'll get your money back.
Yes.
And they will do that. Would you go? Would you go now? I mean, not flying into Sharm el-Sheikh, but would you go to that resort?
Well, of course, Egypt is a wonderful destination for all the reasons we're hearing from Joseph. It's also got incredible antiquity, lovely food and drink, so much to see. And at this time of year, it's slightly more appealing than most parts of Britain, it must be said. So I would go back there. Yes, I am very, very risk averse, particularly when my family is there, so I will tell them, be really careful crossing the road. It's really dangerous. Understand how rip currents work when you're swimming in the sea. Those are the ways that you're really going to reduce the risk. Yes, terrible atrocities happen involving terrorists in Egypt, but they are so rare that I kind of put them in the same category as plane crashes. They're awful, awful when they happen, but they are so rare that I'm not going to allow my life to be dictated to by a bunch of pathetic thugs who want to change the world to make it less free and less tolerant.
So Simon Calder would take his family to Sharm el-Sheikh?
Oh, well, I would do. I'm just waiting for the Foreign Office to change the advice because, while you can fly in via Hurghada, you can go in via Cairo, it would just be so much easier to fly from your local airport straight to that beautiful resort.
All right, thank you very much.